See, I thought God put me on the earth to entertain people on the baseball field. I was pretty good at that. But that wasn't my calling. See, he put me on the earth to help women.
Are you a gigolo?
How are you helping women?
I'm a giver.
He's helping them reach climax, Captain.
Yeah.
Well, it's not so much that because they're a little old. Like, I mean, so it's like it's a lot of look left type deal. But like, you know, that's
Look
what I do.
left.
I'm a giver.
And the teeth come out when that happens, right?
Absolutely, bro.
Well, who could have ever foreseen that Gene Simmons putting ice cubes in his cereal would wind up with us having Lenny Dykstra in our studio? But it came to pass. And we welcome Lenny to our studio this morning.
Yeah, I gotta say that news you just did, like, that was unbelievable. I'm sexually aroused. You know? I mean,
Weird.
Wow.
It's
In the
That's all
traffic.
it took, yeah.
impressive. And then you open up with the Stones, right? Like,
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give some inside info that like no one knows.
Please.
So when we played baseball, like in the Phillies,
Yeah.
we had to have when we did like blow.
Yeah.
We couldn't call it like who's got the blow. So we made up like I came up with it and I said, let's call it Keith Richards because he looks like a line of blow.
So that was the nickname for
So it's legendary around the National League now. Like Richards got the greatest out hits in there now. It's like, anyways, thought I'd throw that in there.
So that was the code word you guys used
Yeah,
for
it's
Coke.
it's kind of tough around the cage to say who's got the blow.
Right.
So hey, is Richards in the house?
right.
That's when I was a lot younger, though. A lot younger.
I had friends that used butter was the word.
Butter was the
Everybody
word?
comes up with a name for, you know, whatever illegal substance you might be throwing around. But Keith Richards, I like that.
That is cool.
Richards, yeah. And the thing is, because he's cool without trying to be cool, you know?
Okay. Yeah, that's true.
I was reading about, you know, Lenny, and doing some of the research once we learned you were going to be on the show. And obviously, you know, we've had some Twitter action back and forth. I think the last thing that we had that came up on our radar was when the teeth, the dentures at the restaurant, and we're like, what in the F? And he's rooting around in the garbage. And then we heard there were $80,000.
Yeah, look at him, man.
They're damn good.
Well, the thing is, it took 4 years to get them done because I had to have bone marrow redone. I had to. So it was a guy in South Dakota that did. Is Sioux Falls in South Dakota? Or North Dakota? Okay,
South Dakota.
He did Doc Gooden's too. He's just a huge fan. But I had to go in, and it was such a process. And then the fact that like I have like they're not dentures, they're implants.
Okay.
So are they locked now?
They're locked.
Okay.
Yeah. But I unlock them for when I do my work, you know. Later.
Okay.
We'll get that later. But so I'm a man of like many
Talents. Yeah.
So-
We've heard. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you.
So wait, did you found them in the dumpster?
Oh yeah, I wasn't leaving until I got them, and there was some other guy who took some credit, some guy with a weird twinkle toes or something.
Like a wrestler.
Yeah, but he was there 2 seconds. I dove in there. I went through food. I started eating some of it actually. But then when I found my teeth, it was like I found gold, man.
Yeah.
So they're back in. Look, perfect.
They look
you were
great.
at-
They
you-
look great.
You were at a Jersey Mike's.
winning
You'd
smile.
Jersey
finished your
Mike's.
meal. You'd put your dentures on a napkin, and you'd done something that a lot of
Not
us would-
dentures, implants.
Implants,
Because
okay.
my guy in Sioux Falls would kill me.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you accidentally throw them out. So you're going, but it took about 9 hours, right, before you found them.
See, what happened was like sometimes if I eat something, again, I think Jersey Mike's got mad because I said like the bread was kind of hard. But if something's hard, I don't want to like disrupt them, so I just kinda take them out and I put them to the side. But and then like I forgot, and it was closing time, so I left and I said, my teeth, where's my teeth?
Yeah.
And so then I go back to the store, they're closed, and I say, dude, my teeth, they're in there. I got to get my teeth. And they look at me like I'm crazy.
Yeah.
So they said, all the trash is out. And they said, wait a second. I said, which is the last trash can at dumpster was in? They showed it to me. I just dove head first. I dove into second base. And I just started grinding. Finally got it. It was like finding a hidden treasure, you know?
Well, 80, and we thought, no, there's no way. And then people started to call in and back you up and say, yeah, if you get a really well done.
There was so much work involved.
So much work
because there was not enough bone. See, so he had to build up bone, And so I did all that on ibuprofen, because opiates are like the devil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I just grinded it out.
Yeah, prosthetics of any type are made specifically for the individual, and they're really expensive. And I can understand why you were. It was a die-hard situation. You
Yeah,
had to
let's
get
call
it
it
back.
like it is. I mean, I didn't have the money to pay for that. This guy was he's such a great guy. He did Doc Gooden's teeth too.
Yeah.
He didn't leave that gold thing in there though.
No.
But yeah.
Doc did a lot of Richards back in the 80s, didn't he?
Doc knows Keith well.
Yeah, I was looking at a picture of you. So, Lenny, I became a fan when you were playing on the Mets. I was up in New York, and I remember that whole that team and the whole vibe. And then I was always also a fan of the Phils. So your trajectory has been one that's been very, very cool. But I'm looking at House of Nails. The book you wrote came out in 2016, and I'm thinking you have enough material for another book at this point.
Yeah.
Are you? Because you are, as they say, a colorful character. People, people are gravitate to you because you have these stories. Are you thinking of another book? Or
You can say it. People either love me or hate me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And that's like, look, the bottom line is I tell the truth, and like a lot of people don't like to hear the truth, but I don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, like, so what am I doing in Philly right now? I'm here to do commercials for Martino Signs. Okay?
What is this?
See you wearing the hat.
Yeah, Martino Signs. So I'm a spokesman for him. So we're out there doing commercials. So then the Eagles game, and then I did for the pregame and
The tailgate?
Oh man, it's unbelievable.
It's crazy, right?
It's insane.
So you were out there promoting the company.
No,
Doing,
but then just dealing with the fans. The fans. I'm a man of the people, man. The fans in Philadelphia. Look, the Philadelphia season in 1993, to me, again, I think fans will back this up, was still the most exciting season in the history of Philadelphia baseball. Because we went from last to first, okay? And then we're all drug-fueled and like, nobody wanted to come to a bat,
Yeah.
And then you have these fans that are crazy, that are just like, people are scared to death of, So
when you're greeted, like when you're out and about here, and I mean, do you feel the love? Do you?
I do.
What do
I
you?
do.
Yeah.
I don't feel it from the Phillies though.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
because I think that like one of the owners found out that I tagged his daughter.
Oh my God,
So-
jeez, oh.
So like the real reason I'm on the Wall of Fame isn't. So like it was kind of a bad move, but that's what happened. I mean, what can I say? But see,
You can say more.
So were you guys playing hide and go seek tag or
I mean, look,
freeze tag?
I'm just it's just I love hearing those words. I can't believe I'm doing this.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It's the thrill-
Holy
thrill of
jeez.
killing.
this.
Yeah.
All right, Lenny, I spoke with you on the phone on Friday, and we put that up. We put that up as a fun-sized podcast. And when I was talking with you on the phone, it sounded like there were women in bed with you on Friday. Now, do you remember Friday morning and chatting with me? And
Yeah. I couldn't shake her. Yeah.
you couldn't shake her.
Yeah.
But it was just one person because I couldn't tell.
Maybe two. But the thing is I don't ever let them stay. See. And this one tried to stay, and I said, "Listen, there's a door over there, you see, and there's a handle. You turn it left, okay, and you follow the signs, okay, and the exit down. And then, but she wouldn't leave, and I'm on the air with you, so I said, get in the bathroom, remember?
Yeah.
Anyways, we got past that. Let's move on to how about the cheap shot that our boy put on Carson Wentz, was a rough deal. But this is a rock and roll station, man. You guys
Yeah.
talk about everything.
We do. We talk about everything. So let me ask you. So with that, and with you talk about the sports. We talk about the Phils and the Mets. You were saying in one of the interviews I was reading about you that the Mets it was a little bit more on the up and up, but you hardcore partied with the Phils, and you also talked about doing steroids. And how that you looked at that point when you were doing them to preserve your job because everyone was doing it. Do you have any regrets of doing steroids now, or was it you had to do it to be where you were?
That's actually a great question because, and again, here comes the truth. So in '89, like I told the Mets, I need to play every day because if you don't play every day, you're not going to get paid. So they wouldn't play. Davey Johnson wouldn't play me every day. So we happened to be in Philly, okay, and like a right-handed pitcher was pitching. So 2 at bats into the game, Davey says, "You're done. That's enough." I said, like what the,
Yeah,
are you
yeah.
kidding me? So then I go up in the locker room and I hear Harry the K, the great Harry Callis, unbelievable. I hear him say, "A lot of action here at the vet today, and initials are LD." So I said to myself, I just got traded. So then I'm sitting in my locker after the game. I'm sitting in my little stool and I wait for the tap. I get the tap and they say, Davey wants to see you in his office. So I go in there and Davey says, well, you know, Davey, by the way, he was best friends with Jack, you know, as in Daniels. Everyone says he was a player's coach, manager. Of course he was. He's always hung over in his office.
All right.
But I'm in there and there's Joe McElvain, the general manager, and Davey. And he says, look, we want to thank you for helping us win a World Series. We just traded you to the Phillies. And I said, wait, the team in the other dugout? What do I meet him at home plate? It was so weird.
I remember when that
It
happened.
was so weird, but I was so
Juan
happy.
Samuel, right? The Phils traded Juan Samuel, I think, for you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
a brutal trade. But for me, it was a great trade because, so, like, with the Mets, I was a young guy, and, like, I never saw a line of Coke. I never saw a good, and I had beer, that's it. I mean, I didn't even drink a beer until I got to the big leagues. But then I made up for it later. But what I'm saying is, so when I got to the Phillies in '89, I started playing every day. So I'm a small guy. I'm 5'9". So I didn't forget how to play baseball. I just wore down.
It took its so, and you were describing, and I was, and you know, I started reading some of the passages out of the book too, because we can't listen.
Yeah.
We see you out on the field. We see these athletes, and you're describing a level of wear and tear that we don't understand.
See, I was so ahead of the curve. See, remember, it wasn't illegal then either. So in '89, the general manager, because I went and I came out of the gates, I'm in 320, and I timbered, you know, down to way down. So general manager Lee Thomas says, look, we're going to give you 1990. You're going to lead off every day. You're not going to look at the lineup. So I'm in Mississippi with my ex-wife, and like, people live there, by the way. So literally, this is how it went down. I literally just went into the yellow pages, and I pulled up some hillbilly doctor, and I didn't even know what he was going to give me. I went to him, and I told him the facts. I said, look, 1990 is going to determine whether I become a multimillionaire or I have to get a real job.
Yeah.
So here's what I need. I don't need a pill or a drug to make me play baseball better. I know how to do that. I need something that's going to keep my weight on so I can stay strong for 6 months.
Yeah.
You know, baseball is the most grueling schedule in sports, okay? Yeah. So that being said, I didn't know what he's going to give me. He writes a prescription. I go get in line in Rite Aid. You know, they fill it, and he says, come back, and I'll show you how to do it. And I come back to his office. He's got a harpoon waiting for me like this, and it's Decadurabolin, okay? Because remember...
So is that a growth hormone?
No, that's steroids. That's a steroid. Then, you know, as I became a chemist later, we mixed all that stuff in. But so remember, I had to do this because I physically wasn't capable of with holding. I couldn't hold up for 6 months. So that I did that for my family to make money because, like I said, I don't need something that could make me play baseball. I knew how to do that. And it wasn't a coincidence that I ended up hitting 325 that year.
Right.
Okay, I walked up to the plate. I had a 15-inch, you know what, because I knew that they knew that I was like on point. You know what I mean?
So, and this is the point, though, to like, and hearing about it and talking about, there's a documentary, I forget the name in case I know you saw it as well, where these guys talking about steroids and so he's a competitive bodybuilder and his brother's a bodybuilder doing steroids, and they're both taking two different angles on it. But the truth of the matter is, and the guy even makes the point in the documentary about people love to see these incredible home runs and they love to see this incredible level of performance. So and at that point, for you to remain competitive.
See, I was ahead of the curve.
So I'm surprised in myself that I sort of see that. I see that point.
Yeah, but see, it didn't get till later, and I told the commissioner, I told baseball, listen, I said, they asked me about, because I did some work for him, and they're asking me about, like, marijuana and cocaine and this. I said, no, you got it all wrong. I said, steroids is your problem. If you don't take care of that, it's going to be a problem that's going to just be out of control. Because anytime money's involved, anytime you can make more money, okay, people are going to make decisions they wouldn't normally make. And so if the guy next to you is doing it, okay, and he's going to get paid $30 million, what are you going to do? Say, I'm going to be a good guy. You know that? And I'm not going to do it. And I'll go get a real job and make $60,000 and be miserable.
Right.
I'm a lifelong Phillies fan, Lenny. I love that '93 team. I was 18 at the time. We went to a lot of games at the Vet that summer. Who on the team was not doing drugs?
There's a lot of them. I mean, they weren't allowed at any of my parties. So I never stayed at the team hotel. Okay. Yeah. So like I got smarter as I got older. So what I did is I had the party brought to my suite. So I have like my guys that worked for me, And so when I got done playing, everything was set up and ready. that's why they all started hating Mitch Williams, because he would delay the game so long. Like the party wouldn't get started till late. But like, a lot of guys weren't doing drugs. I mean, you had your core group. I'm sure you know who they are, but I mean, Eisenreich was doing some, but I think different kind of, like for his Tourette's. But
So like Danny Jackson, drugs.
no, I think he just drank, and he drank hard. Mulholland, no drugs. Schilling, no drugs. Milt Thompson, no drugs.
Incaviglia.
Maybe a few.
I mean, it's all speculation.
Well, because remember, at that point, I became like a chemist. So like people needed a script filled, they just came to me.
So right now, what do you think the nature of the sport is now? Have they done a fairly successful job of eliminating that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
In fact, there's no drugs in baseball. Now you might have a fringe guy that is like on his way out and he's got nothing to lose. But what that tells you though is how in the heck does Major League Baseball players break and shatter the single season home run record on no drugs? Very simple. Major League Baseball, if they want the ball to fly out there, they make it harder. I mean, they take the seams down, okay?
Right.
So when you take the seams down, the ball travels, okay? So they can like it's almost like turning one a little warmer, turn warm water on. So they control that, see? So it's like an airplane. When an airplane lands, the flaps come down.
Right.
But see, with no seams, the ball they're like rocket ships,
Huh.
Hey, real quick, I just want to tell you guys. So you see this picture that's up in our studio?
Yes.
See the two ball boys in the first row? The guy on the left was my boyfriend, and he used to travel with the team. And I mean, he never told me any stories about you guys, but I'm just wondering if he ever made it into one of your parties.
Wait. Better than that, he made it into Showtime. So like the Bat Boys, I used to let them get in the closet, and they used to watch me do my service, And sometimes
Oh, dear God.
they'd make noise, and I'd say, "What you guys? What the?" But that's the kind of player I was, a team player.
Right.
Even the Bat Boys guys about this stage.
Check with him.
You're a giver.
So reconnect. You're a giver. You want people to
By
appreciate.
the way, that's an absolute true story.
Is it the clubhouse?
The club is when they have to go on the road, so they couldn't wait to go on the road, man.
Yeah.
Because I'd say, okay, listen, man, get in that closet, but don't say anything. Okay.
Like in the hotel suite?
Yeah. And so I call it Showtime. And I'm a normal. I'm a missionary man. I'm not into any crazy stuff. I mean, like no chandelier.
A missionary man. Okay, all right.
Let me ask you, Lenny, because
normal.
You had a friendship with Charlie Sheen, and Charlie Sheen has his legendary partier and all that stuff, and you said you got into his house, and he had like a state of the art like drug den. To describe what he had.
Well, Charlie Sheen, by the way, the biggest and the biggest meltdown in the history of Hollywood.
Yeah.
And it was all over one reason, okay? Charlie Sheen's gay, okay? And Charlie Sheen could not live with that, okay? The reason why he was doing whatever he was doing for 10 days straight, okay, was because he had to do that to get to that place. So I had Charlie out a year before that he was forced to go out. And his people, he wanted to go out. He's being extorted. He's broke now. He's being extorted. It's one of the saddest and most difficult things I've ever been involved with. I was there every day with him.
So it's your belief that Charlie Sheen is gay?
No, it's not my belief. Come on, dude. I've seen videos. It's like, you got to look left, bro.
Wow. Okay.
I don't believe it. I mean, he's got HIV.
So he was a fan of yours.
See, I never knew any of this. He did this on his own.
Huh.
See, this is his own world here. But see, when he'd get locked up in that for 10 days, everyone was afraid to go help him. So, because they were afraid that he'd fire him. So I never took a dime from him. I was his real friend. So they'd call me and I'd go up and I'd like say, and what happened on your story there is when I got in that room, I said, to break the ice, I said, Charlie, and this is before I know about all the darkness.
Right.
I said, I got to tell you, man, if you're going to smoke crack, this is the best crack room I've ever seen.
So you said it was like behind like the classic revolving book.
Alfred Hitchcock. So like the fiance, her name was Scottine Sheen at the time.
Right.
He made her change her name. And the first hint there, she was a porno star. Because remember, Charlie used to say, they're best because I can pay him and tell him when to come, tell him when to leave.
Yeah.
Now he's got one as a fiance. But when she called me up, he said, you got to come help. You got to come help. Charlie's been 10 days. Da, da, da. And I said, okay, meet me at the Beverly Glen thing, and I'll go get me through the gates, and I'll take care of it. She said, you'll never find it. I said, what? I said, I've been there for
You've been to the house before.
thousands of
Yeah,
times.
yeah.
She said, no, he built a different special room. I said, okay.
Like a hidden room.
Dude, so we get up the stairs. First, we go through the Israeli, hit squad, his security, which was really an extension of his drug dealers. And so we get up there, and she literally takes a picture and moves it to the side, puts her hand on a thing, puts some numbers on, and his bookcase opens. It was like right out of Alfred Hitchcock.
Yeah, or like
And
a
the
James
room,
Bond
The
layer.
room was
Yeah.
off the chart. I mean, it was awesome. But then I said, Charlie, is this your life? Is this it, man?
Right.
Is this it? I said, like, what are you doing? You're 50 years old. You've been here 10 days. Remember that show you own? You had to be there Monday.
Right.
Because the big joke on his show was, in anger management, was, no, Charlie will be here. He'll be here at 11. He'll be here at 12. No, he'll be here. So
Yeah.
it just all got bad. And,
Yeah.
And like I said, but sober, Charlie's probably one of the smartest, greatest guys I've ever met. He's had that dark side, and that dark side, it wasn't, actually pitch black,
Wow.
So it's a tragedy. It's a tragedy.
So you did your, obviously you have your demons. You're very candid about it in the book, and you have stuff that you wrestle with all the time.
That's not one of them, though.
Yeah.
If somebody put something in my, you're going to have to kill me.
Right. Well, you did 2.5. What'd you do? Was it 2.5 years in prison?
Yeah, they put me in the cooler, for a couple years, and that's when I had to either say, okay, you can pout and feel sorry for yourself, or you can fight through it. And then I fought through it.
To that point, I remember reading the story, and I wanted to ask about this because you got your ass kicked in jail, and there was a lawsuit right against the guards.
Well, yeah. So L.A. County Jail is known as the biggest, and it's the largest in the country. The FBI did an investigation, put 23 of them in prison. So what there was there, it was like institutionalized where they had to beat up like inmates. So when I went in there, and first of all, they put me on the worst row. I'm in there with the mafia hit squad leader and killers, killers. But I wasn't there with that one dude that Michael Jackson. They said he killed the doctor.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, a
The
doctor.
the London dude.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. And he was next to me, and I said, "What happened to good old Ambien, dude?" Come on.
Propofol is what.
Yeah.
they
So he told me what happened. He said, "Look, what was that guy's name, man?" But anyways,
Conrad.
Conrad Murray. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Yeah,
There you go, yeah.
Conrad Murray.
So you're not with Conrad Murray.
He was there for a while next to me, and I said, "What happened?" He said, "I did my normal thing." He said, then he wanted more. So he's self-medicated, and with anesthesia, too much, the lights go out. And luckily they did for a lot of kids, if you know what I mean.
Right.
Yeah, because one
So
thing
you
I
pass
won't
out.
accept is like somebody touching kids or a man putting hands on a woman. That's just not acceptable.
Well, so you're in there, and how badly did you get beaten?
No, it
Because
was-
you were like a target, or
Yeah, no. The guy was they're bullies. One guy was whistling, take me out to the ball game. I said, "Hey, bro, not tonight."
Yeah.
And it went from nails to thumbtacks, and so finally the guy, we had words, and the next thing I know, they're coming in, and I'm back, duking, it took 7 of them to take me out of there. That lawsuit's still going on. In fact, they just offered me a big settlement, which I'm not going to take, and it's going to go to trial here pretty quick.
Okay, because I was looking at some of the pictures. I mean, you got throttled.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, it's. I fought them hard. It took a lot. They dragged me out of there.
So why not take a settlement? You want to see them pay for,
The settlement's too low.
Okay.
Yeah, because when you're, it's so funny in my life. Like the same people that put me in prison, the FBI, meaning is the same people that's going to make me millions for this lawsuit. But when I got indicted, remember, you're talking about a guy that's paid $20 million in taxes and never committed. When they said you're being indicted, I said, "What's that?" And when they showed me, it said the United States of America versus Lenny Dykstra.
Yeah.
I was like, really?
Yeah.
It's almost laughable, I mean, the feds just do what they want to do. And by the way, I didn't want that war. Okay. I mean, that's a much complicated, deeper story than it appears on the outside.
Yeah.
I mean, but what it is what it is. So that's why my book was so well received, and why it was a bestseller, because I didn't say poor me. I didn't say, they did this to me. They did like the legal stuff. I said,
No,
look,
like even some of your biggest critics were saying you were unabashedly saying what it is. So,
Yeah, and I said, like-
and if there's not much more you can say if you're saying, okay, I know people love me or hate me, and here's what I am.
unlike Ron Darling, okay, Ron Darling, who made up lies in his book, and it's been proven. I'm in a lawsuit with him too, and like, why would he pick me as an enemy?
He claimed you'd made racist comments. Was that it? Or
He claimed he did.
Yeah.
And the problem with that is here comes Darryl Strawberry. Here comes Kevin Mitchell.
Yeah.
Here comes Doc Gooden. Here comes Wally Backman. Oil Can Boyd. So
Coming to your defense.
So Darling, but like, why would he pick me as an enemy? Like,
Right.
like, I'm your worst nightmare. I'm the last guy you want as an enemy. Okay. So I'm not done with him by a long shot. That's going on. You're going to see
Still
some
going on?
It's going on in a big way. And by the way, because what he did is like, you cross a line there when you start talking about, like, that's very sensitive stuff, okay?
Yeah.
And I wasn't the only one who took shots at Gary Carter, Bob Murphy. So anyways, but on my book, like the legal stuff, instead of like blaming, like, I just said, look, here are the facts, you be the judge.
So Preston and I were talking earlier this morning about, and I say you take ownership of some stuff, and you say that you need to know the rest of the story about the other stuff. If you, I mean, where you are career-wise now, and where everything's going, you showed that you had some business savvy. What's in the future for you?
Yeah, I mean, I still do have business savvy. I mean, look, I filed in 11, and that's when 08 came, when the world was ended, and they converted me to a 7 like 2 weeks into the 11. So like they just burned down everything I had. But so where I'm at now is I'm making signs for Martino. No,
You actually work at the company.
no, it was cool. We were doing some commercials, but no, I have a lot of things going on now. I mean, like besides, I do have a few clients in Beverly Hills, that keep the gas flow going. I mean, they're elderly people, but. See, I thought God put me on the earth to entertain people on the baseball field. I was pretty good at that. But that wasn't my calling. See, he put me on the earth to help women.
To help women.
How are you helping women?
I'm a giver.
He's helping them reach climax, Kathy.
Yeah.
Well, it's not so much that because they're a little old. Like, I mean, so it's like, it's a lot of look left type deal. But like, that's what I do. I give, I'm a giver.
And the teeth come out when that happens, right?
Absolutely, bro.
All right, Lenny. So tell me, there's someone that has to have come to you with
Oh my God.
a biopic, a movie based on your life. Has anyone come to you to option your life for?
Yeah, a lot of. In fact, the guy that did, with Leonardo DiCaprio played in.
Wolf of Wall Street?
Yeah, Terrence Winters, who did Sopranos and everything else.
He came to you for this?
He was awesome, yeah. But my movie was tied up with Gil Netter and John Lee Hancock, and they never got it to market. So it's with another group now that is trying to put it, because it's a great story because it covers everything. I mean, the book's about a baseball player, but not about baseball per se.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it talks about like De Niro when I'm in like St. Bart's and he's stealing all. He's like he didn't even know who I was, but like we're at the 2 suites and like he sees all my friends helicoptering in. I got him coming lighting and like he can't take it anymore. He says to me, like, I got a daiquiris during the day, and he says, hey, what is that? And like, you know where he's going. And I said, it's a daiquiri. But anyways, and long story short, we ended up in his bathroom, and Richard's greatest hits came out.
Oh my God!
And so me and Bobby D, he said, call me Bobby D. So remember, this is in my book. Don't think 30 lawyers didn't call me and fact check this. Don't think they didn't, because it was so funny. Then he'd be sending over $500 bottles of wine, and so then I said, look, bro, if you want to hang out with Richard, he's better to hang out at night with. So if you want to get on the program, it took me years to get down. You take an amphetamine during the day, because the amphetamine, it's more of a smooth ride, and then you slowly descend. And then you have to have a Xanax around just to chip away if you need a little edgy. And then at night you can bring out the greatest hits. Okay, and you stick with that program. It's a trifecta, and you're good. So he stuck with it the whole time, and we're like, I'm getting ready to leave. He runs up to me, hey, you got some more of that stuff? So 3 months later, I'm in Tribeca. and De Niro was there with his family. And so I said, I'm going to say hi to him. I'm with my friends, and I go up to say hi to him. He treats me like a Russian spy. And my friends say, what an idiot. What a bad, like, I said, what do you mean idiot? What's he going to say? Hey, honey, remember him? He's the one that got me all the Richards and all the, I mean, so, you know.
Well, where are you now? Are you
Are you still doing the trifecta?
you still
No,
living in the
I'm
Richards?
too old for that. No,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
too old. Like,
Your grandfather.
yeah, I am. I mean, my son's married to Jamie Lynn Sigler, the actress from Sopranos, and
Yeah.
I have a couple grandkids and maybe some other kids. Like, but I mean, like, it's kind of hard to watch a game. It's like, God, there's another one.
Hey, Kathy just found out her grandfather was a very famous race car driver, and apparently he spread his seed all over the place.
All
and
over the
she's
country.
finding out that
Yeah,
Yeah.
relative she had no idea
he's
she
probably
had.
he's a breeder. You know, he's a
He
breeder.
was. He was definitely a breeder.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? But I mean, look, the thing about it is, in Philadelphia, like playing in Philadelphia, was like, for me, it was like an honor and a privilege to be able to play in New York and in Philadelphia, which are the greatest fans in the world. So when I still come to Philadelphia, no matter what Angelo Cataldi says or whatever,
Yeah.
or what anybody says, or the fact the Phillies like owner got mad because I serviced his daughter.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. The fans remember, and that's what makes it so cool. You know.
So when you're on you're on the street and people are coming up to you, you're getting a lot of love.
yeah, always, man. Because I played hard, man. You know?
Lenny, I've got Phil's been on the hold for a long time. I'm just going to ask his question for him. Are you doing any appearances soon? Because there's people that want to meet you. Do you do public appearances?
Yeah, I do. I'm no problem. You reach me 24/7 on Twitter. You know.
So well, listen, we found out how easy you are to access on Twitter because
Yeah.
that's how we first got in touch with you.
Yeah. I have my guy that helps me with Twitter won Jeopardy like 3 times. He's a genius, you know.
All right.
Because like Twitter, it's like right here, right now. You got to be on top of it. So.
You have a genius running your Twitter account.
He's a genius. Yeah, I mean, he won. I mean, I couldn't even answer a question on Jeopardy. He won it 3 times. So, yeah,
He really was on Jeopardy? He won? He was a 3-time champion?
Yeah, his name's Adam Taxton. He's a big Philly guy.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's a lawyer. He like passed the bar in 5 states just because he wanted to.
Hey, where's home for you now? Where do you live?
I've been hanging out at that intersection, you know, heaven and hell. No, them
Heaven and hell.
Them 2 streets they cross.
Yeah, they
every
cross
night.
and that's where you are.
It's like a
South
cool
Philly,
place
right?
to hang out, you know.
I would love to see you like as sort of the guy who walks around when the Phils play and you're, hey, we're meeting with the families and telling them.
Well, see, the funny thing about the Phillies is this. So here's what happened. I'm kind of the gift that keeps giving, okay?
Right.
So when we have the big year in '93, go to the World Series, I get a $30 million contract.
Right.
So what happens is I end up having like back surgery and like didn't get their money like out of it, okay? So when you get this kind of contract, they insure you. So Lloyd's of London does. They flew me all over the country, and basically every part of my body was uninsurable except my back. So when it's time to retire, because my back, and you know, the brass is coming up, hey, you know, like your back. I said, dude, I got you. I got you.
Right.
So when I do the press conference, it was a true thing. Back surgery took me out. I got the Phillies all $30 million back.
Huh.
Take them to the World Series and get their money back.
That's pretty
You
wild.
want me on your team? Trust me.
How much of the steroid abuse do you think contributed to the downfall of your body?
I don't think the steroid abuse did it. I mean, I think the way I played did, and the vet. I mean, the vet was vicious, man. I'm telling you,
It's like concrete.
Yeah, so like you picture yourself trying to stop on a dime there, and it's so hard, like which is something like I can't do anymore. It's get hard, but it's so painful. It's like humiliating. Like the first time it happens when you get the towel there and like you know like.
But back to the vet.
Yeah, back to the
You got to peel and reveal, and they laugh at you. That's a problem.
It's not good.
they
It's
laugh.
not
That's the
good.
problem. So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
always armed with you know what.
But the teeth come out, so you're ready to go.
Well, they don't know that. I still
Yeah,
don't
okay.
know. That's like a side move.
Yeah.
And so I also had this injury, and I had this injury when I played football, where I almost bit my tongue off. Okay, I literally did. And I looked in the mirror, and like it was barely hanging there. And they rushed me to the hospital. I got like 15 stitches in my tongue. So there's like a rivet in my tongue too. So combine that without the teeth, and you got Picasso.
Listen, you're a cyborg sex machine.
I'm a pleaser, but before Picasso can do his work, the canvas has got to be clean, you know?
I got a text that says, I feel like I need to take a shower after this interview.
Lenny, I don't know if this is legend or if this is not true, but I had heard that other center fielders in the league complained about center field because of the mound of
Absolutely.
Okay, spit
That's
and
true.
okay.
You know why it's true? Because if I saw the team, my teammates talking to the other team, I said we're fighting.
Yeah.
Had a motto: we're going in their house, taking their money, and doing their women. Okay. so what I'm saying is, I wasn't voted the most hated player in the league 5 years in a row because I made their job easy. I made their job hard. Okay, and that's why they didn't like me.
Is there a part of you that wants to be that most beloved player that that everyone just goes, man, what a great ambassador of the game and so on and so forth? Not at all.
No, I love hitting my home runs on the road. In fact, when we played Atlanta, so remember, I let off, okay? So on the road, they couldn't start the game until I got in the box. So I was in complete control at that point. So we played Atlanta, Ted Turner and Jane Fonda would be sitting there. So I'd always take a wide loop, and I'd stop right in front of Jane Fonda, and I'd say, I wanna, you know what? Right there. Okay?
Really?
Every time. Now, she'd look at me or looking through me, but Ted Turner was so goofy, he's looking all over the place. But that was a classic story, And so my favorite home run I hit was in Atlanta to knock them out of the playoffs, And which is, and again, kind of comparable to what happened to Carson Wentz from the cheap shot in the first inning. Would be kind of comparable to when I'm leading off, Greg Maddux throwing a pitch in my head, knocking me out of the playoffs, So that was kind of a rough deal yesterday, but I know I'm all over the map, but
No.
So that's kind of what I do.
It was weird that he was such a dominant pitcher because he looked like such a nerd.
Well, you know why? Because he pitched right. He played right. So
Yeah.
if you play right, okay, like Tom Glavine, I wanted to catch it and throw it back.
Yeah.
He's in the Hall of Fame. But because he didn't walk people and he played right, he let the percentages take over.
Who's the player you admire the most?
I mean, look, the best player to ever play the game, you can define him this way. Okay, the best player to ever play the game, Barry Bonds. The biggest, to ever play the game, Barry Bonds. Okay?
You finished second to him in '93, right, for MVP voting? Yeah.
I should have won that, though.
You should have
because
won that.
If the MVP is supposed to be about winning, and he had more home runs and all that stuff, but
Yeah.
but I'm not mad, I mean, look, for me, every day above ground is a good day.
Yeah.
And I give people hope, okay? Especially like gray haired, older, never mind.
Women.
Beverly Hills.
Beverly Hills.
Ladies.
Hang on a second. I have a 3-time Jeopardy champion on the line. Adam, are you there?
Don't go!
Is this your guy?
No, that's not him.
Thanks, Adam. Appreciate it.
We're losing you.
No, that's not him. That's one of the guys that was at the tailgate yesterday. I mean, that's something, man. Those guys are hardcore.
Yeah.
I mean, wow. I mean, I couldn't believe it. They're everywhere, and they're all looks like they're all drinking the same thing.
They
There's
go hard.
There's a lot. Yeah. Did it remind you of your days of youth, or is it?
No, see, I was controlled, dude. I was kind of into if it's prescribed and it's FDA approved, then I'm good. I'm not doing nothing wrong.
Right.
Except till you get to 30 a day, and that's a problem.
Right. Right.
But there's a doctor here in Philadelphia that actually saved my life. I mean, I was actually the first, second patient in the world to do a thing called rapid detox. So we have a huge opiate epidemic out there right now, and there's a doctor here named Dr. Jim Berman who's the smartest, best. He saved my life because I couldn't get off opiates. When I was playing, I'd see my teammates drinking 20 beers a game, and I told the trainer, I said, I can't do that. I lead off. I said, there's got to be something else. So he gives me one little white pill.
Was it Vicodin?
It's a Vicodin, a little milligram, 5 milligram. And I take that, I have one drink, and I thought I reinvented the wheel. I said, I got him again. I figured it out. I feel great. And now there's nothing for free, as you know. So fast forward to 30 a day, but I couldn't get off. So I said to him, I can't live like this. There's got to be another way. He says, there is, but it's risky. I said, what do you mean? He says, well, it's not here. It's in Israel. I said, Israel? This is 1980s, late 90s.
Right.
I said, isn't that where they're blowing people up every day? He says, yeah. And he says, well, there's something else. You'd be only the second patient in the world to do it. I said, the world? it's kind of a big place. Did the first one live? And so then he said, and also it's $250,000. I said, I can give it. I don't care about the money. And he says, it's too risky, don't do it. I said, no, I'm doing it. So I took, hired an Israeli security forces and took LL Airlines and went there, and it was actually like when I got annihilated on the way there. It was like the second time that I cried, meaning as soon as I landed, I said, take me to my doctor. And so this is Israel too, and like I walk in his office, some dude with his feet up against the window, smoking a cigarette, and he turns around, and it looks like he's got scars and like everything all over him. And I don't know, something happened to me. I broke down, and like the first time I cried was my mom wouldn't let me play in like a Little League game, so I had to have a fever or something. And the second time I cried was like in there, because like if my dad used to spank me, I used to go, hey, Dad, you done yet?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, but I broke down, and I remember him coming over, and he pinned me against the wall, and I still smell that Israeli cigarette. And he said, I'm not going to let you die.
Wow.
And it was very powerful, man. Like, so when I finally came to and came out of it, like I went to the Wailing Wall, instead of just like throwing it against the wall, I stopped and I got some clarity and said like I'm alive, I'm free again, because that's a different kind of prison. Opiates. I haven't touched one since. That's a prison I don't reckon anyone gets there. Whoever's been in that world knows the pain.
And so he did save your life. This guy
did.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow.
All right. Well, listen, Lenny, this has been a wild conversation.
Yeah.
I know we're just scratching the surface.
Sure.
So we'll have to talk to you again sometime in the near future.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, you're just repping Martino Signs. I want to make
Hey,
sure I mention
Martino Signs, man, look at the lid. And by the
You
way,
got a Martino signs?
yeah, and the commercials are on YouTube, and so look, I'm also repping my skills too.
Yes, if anyone needs pleasure.
Also on Twitter.
Right.
The bottom line is like, think about it, bro. Like the teeth come out, the rivet in the tongue. It's like
The real home
What
run.
else do you need?
Kathy,
shuttle.
try to
So you
contain
know-
yourself.
Oh my God. He's such a giver.
I'm such a giver. I'm a giver.
are.
I mean, I'm a nice guy. I give back.
Lenny, there's a whole bunch of wealthy like socialites, and I'm sure along the main line,
Yeah,
right?
man. I live in Villanova. Come on over.
Yeah, I lived. I lived in the main line too. I loved it. I lived in Devon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
There you go. I think you could find some customers.
yeah, on the way home from the game, I used to pull in the Wayne Hotel and like get lucky once in a while. I was a bad boy, man.
Yeah, and it looks like you've completely reformed.
Yeah. Well, you know what I am? I'm more. It's more.
About the people?
Yeah. I'm a man of the people. See, that's right. Good call. A man of the people.
You're a man of the people.
Yeah, I'm a giver.
Yeah, he's a giver. All right, thank you, Lenny Dykstra, guys.
Thank you, man.
of the people,
Awesome.
a giver. Thank you, man.